Hey everyone, it's BMX Man B53, and this is the third time I'm doing this because I can't get it under 10 minutes, so I'm just going to try and brush through this and see how it goes, alright? Went to an IWA-MS South show yesterday, Joliet, Illinois, and the next show is August 17th in Joliet, Illinois. So, in comes out, says there's some no-shows, Sexy Eddie, Viking, and Madman Pondo. Sorry for speaking fast, but I really need to get this under 10 minutes. Viking broke his jaw, Madman Pondo wasn't really, no reason given. Sexy Eddie held up at the border, interesting, but hey, what are you gonna do? You can't get him over, I guess, but the plane tickets were already bought, so that's a little bit disappointing, I guess, so they're not getting that money back. Ian comes out, says there's gonna be some regular wrestling matches to start off the show. CJ Otis versus Lyndon. Haven't seen enough of Lyndon to make a judgment, but they worked alright together. Otis is more of a brawler, Lyndon's more of a high flyer, apparently. Otis went over with a German suplex, okay match, I'll give it 2.5 stars. Alright, opener. This next match really thought should have been the opener, but you don't always get what you want. Raymond, formerly known as Josh Abercrombie, he basically shaved his mustache and changed his name, but, I still like him, he worked well. He faced Dingo, Fantastico, fans were behind Fantastico, me and 3 other people were behind Raymond. Raymond basically fell off of the turnbuckle, looked like a huge botch, but guess it wasn't. Went bam right to the floor, and looked knocked out almost. Fantastico pulled him up, pushed him into the ring, bam, roll up, Raymond won the match. Playing possum. Should have been the opener, as I said. I'll give the match 3 stars, very good. Jason Hades versus Jason Quick, match of the night, TLC, light heavyweight title. Jason Hades comes in as the champion and ends up leaving as the champion when he hits the kill switch off a ladder through a table and ends up going and grabbing the title, obviously. But very, very crazy match. Another big spot in the match, corkscrew, shooting star press off the turnbuckle through a table by Jason Quick. And it was on the outside too, so just to add some more to that. Kimberly Cash interfered a bunch of times, that's Jason Quick's manager. And, there were a bunch of crazy things in that match. Afterwards, Ian announced that on August 17th, which I said earlier is the next Joliet show, these two will meet in a steel cage. And he said something about Cash being in a dog kennel, which I'm not too sure what that's gonna do, but hey, whatever. All these other matches are mainly death matches, so it's gonna be hard to give them star ratings, but this one, match of the night, 3 3/4 stars, phenomenal. This one, Nick Gage versus Freakshow, Barbwire ropes, Texas Bullrope match. It didn't really do much for me. I'm a big fan of Nick Gage, and Freakshow's alright. But it was a very stiff match and extremely bloody. And the finish came when Nick Gage choked out Freakshow, basically. He had the rope in his mouth and his neck. But, Nick Gage won. But there were some problems with the match. The bullrope didn't seem to want to stay on either one of their wrists. So it's kind of hard to have this kind of match to start off with. But they made do with it. It works pretty well. Well enough. Next match, Tank versus DJ Hyde. Not a big fan of Hyde from his work in CZW. But, obviously I'm willing to give him another chance here. 4 Quarters of Pain, Taipei Deathmatch. Tank ended up winning with a curb stop off the second rope onto DJ Hyde's head and then some chairs, but it was an alright match. 2 bigger guys going at it, death match, hey, but still I wasn't really impressed with Hyde. He held his own in this match, don't get me wrong at all, but wasn't really feeling it. Ian offered DJ Hyde a spot whenever he wants to come back to IWA Mid-South. He's always welcome. It's good to see when he puts over wrestlers like that, and it's even better when he brings them back. Insane Len versus Toby Klein, Mr. Insanity. Insane Len ended up winning Hurricane Rana off the top rope and through a barbed wire board match, obviously. After the match, Toby Klein issued a challenge to Insane Len. The winner of this match will receive the rights to the name Insane, which if you think about it, Insane Len would just become lame. Pretty boring. Toby Klein can still obviously be Toby Klein, he just can't be Mr. Insanity. But I wonder, would he just be Mr. Toby Klein, or I don't know, really just drop it all together. They worked very well. Really looking forward to their next match. Not too sure when it's going to be. It would make sense to be August 17th, but you never really know. Pretty good match though. Next match, Dingo versus Jayson Strife. Another phenomenal match. Haven't seen a lot of Dingo, but from what I've seen, he's great. The first time I saw him was actually in Ring of Honor, a pre-show match. He looked a little bit like Bryan Danielson. Everyone was making fun of him. And, you know, if only those people could see him now. He is great out there. He's the world champion. I've had my doubts about IWA putting the title on him. But wow, he's really, really good out there. Granted, he slipped when he came out and fell on some water or something, but he didn't know water was there. Come on, cut the guy some slack. Dog collar match. Dingo retained the title. Really, really good match. Both men received standing ovations from the crowd, which just shows you how much respect the crowd has for these two guys. Next match, Devon versus Wax versus Corey Shaddix in a Fans Bring the Weapons match. Some interesting weapons were brought, but for the most part, kind of weak. One of the better weapons was a ball and chain. The ball was a baseball covered in thumbtacks. Worked really, really well. I like that. Whoever made that, props to you. Some dumber weapons. Someone had a Hulk cardboard cutout and put some cactus, it looked like, on his eyes. Which, you know, that's pretty funny. But it didn't really get used. So there really wasn't a point in it. Pretty solid match, though. Devon won. It was okay. I mean, Devon didn't really bleed at all. And I guess that's because he was hurt earlier. And he pulled out of this show originally. And I guess he came back. But, you know, it was just interesting to see a guy not bleed in a death match. I don't know when's the last time I've seen that. Well, it's the main event now. Lights are out. Lightbulbs get turned on. Corporal versus Deranged. No rope Barbwire. Electrified lightbulb match. Now, if you have ever stared at the sun, think of looking at that, except a bunch of light bulbs. Wow, my eyes were hurting very, very badly. But, hey, most of the brawling was done actually not in the ring, which I found very interesting. It's very hard to break light bulbs as a deathmatch fan. I'm sure many of you know that. But for the most part, most of them broke. And you basically got to crush the guy's head. And wow, I'm glad that's not me. That's really all I can say about that. The finish came when Corp went onto the stage, the same stage that Mickey Knuckles broke her leg on, unfortunately, wishing her a speedy recovery, obviously. He ended up doing the boot camp to Deranged, who's a pretty big guy, off the stage onto about 6 chairs. Really, really cool spot. But, you know, Corp won with that. After the match, though, Toby came running out, and Deranged and him beat the crap out of Corp. And Tank came out, crowd cheered, Tank comes out to make the big save. What does he do? No, curb stomp right on Corp's face. So apparently Tank turned on IWA for the second time. First time when he joined Deep South. That was about a year ago, actually. So the locker room comes out with Ian, and they clear the ring eventually. Cult Fiction, well, Billy Graham actually, cuts a promo about how Corp forgot where he came from and how, you know, he's not too sure what he's doing and stuff. It's basically starting a war, set up a huge, huge angle between Cult Fiction and IWA. After all this, Corp and Ian ended up cutting a promo, really heartfelt, you know, not to sound too queer, but I was really into this angle, and I really, really like this match, and overall I like this show. I suggest buying it from iwamidsouth.proboards19.com. Go there for the details when it comes out. Buy it through IWA as they get all of the proceeds from that, as they don't as Smart Mark Video. So, you know, IWA needs all the support they can get. I suggest you all check it out, please.